That new delay threw me off.
Did it?
A little bit. It's like, oh, I'm just going to hold my breath for a second or two here. I don't remember what I was going to do. Doesn't matter. We did the chest poundy thing.
Yeah.
Because we're fucking...
Which might be more Kong, but we're talking about the war.
Which we did, actually. This is the second
Ape
movie that we've
this
seen
year.
This year. The summer. Technically Kong, spring,
Spring-ish.
early summer. Still counting it. It's very much a summer.
It's a summer
popcorn
blockbuster,
movie. It's just not a huge
was
franchise.
It May? I think it was in May.
Yeah, it was like towards the end of spring, right before summer started. That's when they put out a few kind of like blockbustery movies. Guardians was super early.
Yeah,
I think that was like one of the first technical summer movies of the year. But we're not talking about those. We're talking about the War for the Planet of the Apes, which for whatever reason this says of, but it is for. I promise you. It's weird. I was looking up a picture, as I do, and a lot of promotional material has of. There wasn't very many.
Maybe it started out as War of the Planet of the Apes.
Sure. Or it's like fan-made shit, and they just got it wrong. But that one, I like the look of this one the most. And it's one word, so...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So this is the third installment of the Planet of the Apes reboot.
The finish of the trilogy? No, this is reboot.
Right. I never saw the originals. Charlton Heston, right?
Yeah. I saw some. I mean, I know I've seen all of the original one.
Right.
And I know I've seen parts of the other ones, but I couldn't tell you shit about them. Besides, they were people with monkey masks. Very well done monkey masks for the time.
They still did in the Tim Burton one. They wore monkey masks, too.
Those monkey masks were really good, but that movie was terrible.
Yeah, because... like masks don't work.
No, the masks did work. The practical effects I thought in that movie worked very well.
I didn't like it at all.
But I thought the movie in general sucked. It wasn't
that.
It wasn't the
there was a lot of problems with
that bothered me.
Monkey suits, huge problem because it looks stupid. It's like, what are we doing here? Like we're in. It looked like TV movie shit.
If they would have tried to do what they did with these,
they couldn't have done it.
No, they just couldn't have done it.
But the way they did, I don't know, maybe just the aesthetic with Tim Burton. There was a lot of shit I did not like about that Tim Burton reboot, which thankfully it died. He didn't do any more.
Well, it was just supposed to be the
supposed
start.
to be, yeah, but then it did horribly. So we get Planet of the Apes, which is the first one came out probably like 4 years ago.
It was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Was the first one?
It was the first one. Then Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
So I do like how they introed this movie, where they blended those words.
We should have watched the other two recently, and just didn't.
But didn't need to necessarily with that intro, and then with the movie stands on its own.
It does
really.
Not rewatching it, I was never really lost in it.
No, not at all. Let's see. Director? So, Dawn 2014, so 3 years ago. Every year? 14, 15? No. So...
He didn't do the first... What?
He didn't do the second one.
He didn't do the second one.
I guess, yeah.
Which was...
But he may have wrote it?
I don't know.
Which one was that one? Rise? Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He's probably a producer, right?
You would think.
No.
Just not involved in it?
No. Let's see, writer.
Maybe not.
He's not really a writer. But this one.
He wrote this one.
Yeah. So I don't know who did. Let's see. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Rise for the Planet of the Apes?
2011.
So
Rise was the first one, then Dawn.
So then he did the last
War.
two.
Yeah. Who did this one?
Rupert Wyatt did the first one. 2011.
Going deep before we even get into this fucking shit.
Yeah. Get it out of the way. Looks like that's kind of... It was his first one. The Gambler? Crazy.
Well, no. He did the last two. He did...
No, not this guy.
Not this guy. He only did the first one.
He only did the first one. Yeah, which is crazy. Because he, like...
That first one was awesome.
I know.
And then nothing since then. He's like got a TV gig.
Maybe he's like who's the Star Wars dude that just did the first one and gets all the credit?
Abrams?
No, the first one.
Oh, Lucas.
Very first one. But then
How do you not know that?
I just block his name out. Just because everybody else has it right on the tip of their tongue. It's like, he doesn't get that much respect from me. But it's great that fucking Reeves came in. Is it Reeves?
Yeah, Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves came in and did the last two. I mean, the first one, it's kind of a weird franchise, trilogy. Because there's so many, like, huge blockbuster franchises.
Was childhood friends with J.J. Abrams.
Good kid to know if you're going to be a director.
But I mean, imagine if, like, you and your, like, fucking high school buddy both went on to be prolific directors.
I think it'd be crazy if you came from a poor neighborhood, but maybe they're both, like, from families of, like, showbiz, and that's why they grew up next to each other and became... Because a lot of showbiz people... That's not crazy. I'm sure there's a lot of people like from LA that are just like, yeah, we've been best friends forever.
Yeah.
But like, if there was another huge comic that was friends with Joey and they grew up in that same neighborhood, that's crazy.
Well, Cameron Diaz and Snoop Dogg went to the same high school at the same time and like knew each other.
Yeah.
Like even though he went on to just be a gangbanger and then musician.
Knew each other. Who knows how much they knew each other?
I guess knew of.
Yeah. It's like
I think I heard a story once.
If I went to school with anybody,
they had personal interaction.
Yeah, but if I went to school with anybody that became famous, like
I
would recall all of the moments that I met him and like, oh, I remember. I was like, oh, I knew him. Yeah. Sure. Did I know him? Probably not. They weren't my friend. It's cool to see him. Like, oh, hey, high school, bro.
Yeah. Hey, we're both famous.
Yeah. But so this is the third installment in kind of the under the radar fucking trilogy franchise, because everything's fucking comic book, huge comic book. Star Wars is back now that Disney owns them. Fucking, and what other fucking the Star Trek? J.J. Abrams is kind of
he's rebooting everything.
The fucking Jurassic Park
coming out with another one.
But this is like kind of been they've always done well, but it's like you don't hear people fucking talk about them like you hear like. The amount of people that talked about shitty movies that we saw last year in a positive way, I've never heard anybody gush over like this franchise.
An amazing trilogy.
I think now, like the movie nerds and stuff like that understand how big this franchise is, like how well it's been done, and like from story to like just how they're filmed. They're filmed with a lot of respect. They're not just cookie cutter like, you know, like comic book movies. A lot of the times there's not a whole lot of artistic shots in a lot of like summer actiony movies in general. But this is like filmed like a
or you
like
get a Batman Superman
almost.
That's all artistic shots and no content.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
just like you get one or the other.
That's one of the movies that like there was a lot
all
of
artistic shots, no content.
Slow-mo,
no substance.
like exactly. Screensavers. But now that this is coming out, and after seeing it, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna spoil some shit, but after seeing it, like, all I want to do is just go back and watch them all, just to fit them all together. Because, like, you know, it's just so well done, man.
You know what? Before we even get into it, one thing, the CG. Even during all the fights and everything, nothing took me out of it.
The only time that I kind of was wavered was when it first, like all these movies, all these great movies we're watching, for whatever reason, it's probably because I'm just so cynical and hateful.
In the very beginning, like, you're like,
somebody's gonna fuck this. But they were like, when they're on horses, it looks weird. But like, there was some scenes when it was like first person almost, walking in through all the apes and stuff in the caves. That was like, because they started just looking very much like the same copied apes, you know, not really personalities. But then as the movie goes,
core group
it's like,
comes in,
okay, and the CG. I just think maybe that opening scene, maybe they had to cut some corners.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even that bad. But it was just like, clearly I'm watching CG right now. But then as the movie goes, I mean, there's some fucking
the whole time I feel
shots.
like I'm watching CG.
Oh, there's so many of them.
Great.
I'm not at all. All of the close-ups in this movie looked like the fucking realest shit.
No, I get you.
Like,
it's great,
it's
but
so crazy.
But knowing it's CG,
I mean, I knew it was CG, but I kept having to remind myself this is fucking CG because it looked like fucking like anytime it was full body, I'm watching CG. I mean, it still looks great. They move well, all that shit. I know I'm looking at CG. All the faces, because they're all done with like super shallow depth of field. They're all like displayed in a way to like you can hide because there's only a small part that is in detail, in focus in that thing. So it's like just all of the eyes.
Just the fact of how well they've got with animal hair.
Oh, like,
because that's a big one. CG.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you could do an animal. It might look something like that animal a little bit, but the hair never moves.
Still,
right.
Movies today, it's tough.
It is.
I mean, like Life of Pi was great, but like I was looking at a bunch of CG shit in a boat. Like this,
I still never watched that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. CG. I mean, but it's like it was kind of stylized too. But you know, it depends on movies. Some movies they kind of get away with it because they'll have a certain style of CG.
Yeah.
To where it's like, okay, like a fucking Michael Bay. It's like, well, there's so much shit on the screen. Good luck telling me what's fake. But then this, just the way it's shot, it's and like
everything
the whole movie,
seamless.
It has to be amazing CG because there's like barely any dialogue, super dramatic acting scenes, all done with fucking fake faces. It's the most amazing animation. The most amazing animation
for this movie was fantastic.
That's fucking great too.
Was fucking everything. The mood,
very like like percussion on like
it was very fucking. It all like, fit the mood. It set the tone
jungly kind of
how like you should feel, but without being overpowering.
There were moments because there's so much back and forth in this movie, like where it's like dramatic scene, like lighthearted, and the music was going with it. And there were times where I was like, okay, it's like very much matching the emotions I'm seeing, but it's like it was almost a little bit too much because the fucking just the animation of the facial scenes, like there's so much emotion, like so much. There's like so many dramatic scenes where you're looking at Caesar and there's so many emotions going on,
so much angst in his face,
like
so
everything.
Like
you see like this subtle joy. Or just subtle like anger,
tearing up.
Oh my god,
it was so great.
Like fucking computer animators in this movie is like they're shining fucking, and it's just it's crazy that it's just gonna get better.
Yeah,
they still haven't been able to do people yet. Like the Star Wars is better. I mean, but it's clearly we're watching a dead CG guy.
Yeah, it's like your face.
That's it's just like, but whoever does this, let me see who. I wonder if it says
probably don't say the company or anything.
It'd be credited. I just don't know where to look for it on IMDb, especially if I'm stuck.
Just click on War.
Yeah. But yeah, the movie's great. Go watch it. If you haven't seen the first ones, you don't need to, but fucking do a goddamn marathon and then go watch this. Just came out yesterday. Let's see here.
220-minute run or 2 hour and 20-minute runtime didn't seem like it.
No, I mean it was like I knew I was watching a longer movie. I was expecting to, but it's like it's very much has like a Braveheart kind of feel. You're watching an epic right now. Part of a trilogy too.
So emotionally involved in this movie.
Oh yeah,
and with what is there maybe 15 minutes of actual dialogue in the movie. Spoken dialogue. a lot of sign language, which also helps in the plot of the movie. Like it's like a superpower. You can communicate for far distances. Silently.
It's like the difference between
silently. It's just
it's like the difference between a sword and a gun. It's like a sword. I got to be 4 feet away from you.
Meet you away.
Yeah. Gun. I'm fucked.
There's a new record sniper shot that was 2 miles.
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. I don't even know if I can find it. Let's see here. What were we just saying?
I don't know.
Emotionally invested in this movie.
Yeah. It was just like everything. It's so dramatic.
Yeah.
Without humans being in 95% of it. Like you were saying, just the faces.
Oh, yeah.
Like
no dialogue. It's like it's the whole thing is done through
stories,
fake faces
told by fake faces,
fake monkey faces.
Yeah,
and it's like there's a character comedy relief that shows up.
Yes,
in this movie, and like the perfect voice to face to like how it's like he was like the look of that monkey fit the attitude of that monkey.
Yes.
You know, or ape, whatever the fuck. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find a special effects department, or that wouldn't even be special effects. Would it?
It'd be what is CG. It'd be
sound department,
special effects, visual effects. It'd probably be creative. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. Great. Whoever does it, I'm sure
good
people
on you.
know.
Yeah.
If you know, you're
if
yelling
you're
at me.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know still. You probably just do a simple Google search, which I'm not going to do. Who is the art department? But whoever the fuck it is, man, like this, the level, what like it compared to was the first time I saw Toy Story, like in high school. And it was the first full feature length
3D
animated. And it was, at the time, it was like, holy shit, because you got like reflections. It's like all this kind of crazy shit. And for the time, it was crazy shit. And now it's like, that shit's on fucking YouTube. Like fucking dudes are doing that in their basement, animating Toy Story 1 quality shit. But then you got this like photorealistic, like if you just freeze framed any of those, it would look like they just took a picture. Like maybe you see in movement or like some things, maybe it looks a little fake. But every time it was the close-ups, man. All the fucking, because man, they just they just like came all over the audience.
That's 3 movies in a row. That
we've been on a good run, man.
That we came out of. We've also went
last summer,
3 weeks in a row.
Because they've been good releases.
Baby Driver, Spider-Man.
I've heard nothing but good things. So it's like, how am I not going to go see these? Whereas last year, heard nothing good.
Everything
and like
was terrible.
Tried to watch some shit. Like, and some paid off, some didn't. I mean, you know, there was a couple independent
movies last year.
That's the thing.
Nothing blockbuster.
Exactly. Yeah. Which this year we went and tried. We went and saw one that didn't really work out. Yeah. But you know, it's a hit or miss with that. But I haven't been paying attention. I just haven't had any time for independence. Like if something shows up on Netflix or Amazon, throw it on. But yeah. It's been a good run. The War of the Planet of the Apes for the Planet of the Apes was I mean, like, it's not a fun movie. It's like there's all the emotions in this movie.
It's a serious
action,
fucking drama.
It's a tons of drama, hilarious comedic moments that fit,
but there was like 5. And they were in just the right places.
Yes,
like literally 5.
And it doesn't.
And boom.
And it takes a while.
Boom.
It takes a while before you even get to the first one.
There's like first 45 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it starts.
You don't.
So let's get into it. It starts with like a little synopsis. So if you haven't seen the first 2,
kind of gives you an overview,
catches you up a little bit. If you have seen it, haven't seen them in a while, whatever, you're good to go going into it. But then it's like it's a battle scene. They're going through. They got the kill monkeys, and they're going through the jungle, and you're following the people. Yeah. And you're like, oh shit!
Looks like almost a Vietnamist scene,
which a shitty movie would have had. Like, in the jungle, which there was only
or
one
CCR.
Song. Yeah, exactly. I think I didn't know what I was singing, but I think I was getting to a CCR song.
No, you were singing "Welcome to the Jungle" pretty much.
Well, that's not the melody though. That was in my head when I was singing. It was
Born on the Bayou, maybe?
Yeah. Born on the Bayou. But yeah, so it's like it starts off with that, and then right away gets into battle scene.
Yeah, they're like, hey, look, there's some monkeys or apes.
Yeah.
Let's kill them. And then they're like, hey, Colonel.
Which all of their hats had, slogans to the effect of what they were going to do if they...
And this also introduces the fact that they are also working with some apes of their own.
Yeah. Some have gone to the other side.
Which they refer to as donkeys, and spray paint that on them.
And then they'll brand them with their little...
But they all have that, like tattooed on them.
Well, yeah, but all the donkeys had it branded on them.
Yeah.
So battle scene where it's like they're just decimating the apes.
Yeah.
And then the tone of this, how the pace of the movie is very much like this side gets a victory, small victory, and it's like, oh shit, here's this other side now. It's, oh, they got the victory now. You're fucked now. It's like there was so much of that throughout the whole movie, even like up to the end of the movie. It was like, oh shit, they did it, and then it's like, oh shit, no, they didn't do it, and it's like, oh shit, they did do it, and it's like,
no, they didn't
do it. Yeah, it's so much like it's, which I love that, because it was like it kept you emotionally fucked the whole movie, because you're like, drama shit's going on, it's all like shown to you. It's just because there's no like bullshit exposition, there's no, very little dialogue, very little communication, but it's like so many things happen. There's so much emotion. It's like nothing was missed.
No,
despite like it wasn't like we were watching some fucking like student art film where it's like there's no dialogue and random scenes and shit. Like if you just put mute on Batman vs Superman. Yeah, and then there would be a Kia commercial. Was Subaru commercial? There was a commercial at the beginning of that movie too.
I think it was Kia.
But yeah, it's just fucking. It's like quality wise, like by far the best movie I've seen this year. Like, just from like has all the emotions, like everything shot, story good, everything good. Not my most fun movie of the year, so I don't know how it would rank, because Dunkirk's not going to be like, hey, I'm not buying the soundtrack to Dunkirk.
With Dunkirk.
Yeah, but it's like it's getting into like that heavier thing. So it's like well-rounded as a whole. It's like probably fucking, right up there.
What's
like? It's hard for me to think of anything that I had a problem with.
Yeah.
No, which is good.
There's no, I didn't have any problems.
Yeah.
But then, like, you find out that they capture a few of the humans because they come back after they get, like, they start to battle them.
At the end of that battle, there's a couple humans
they get some
left.
And one of the donkeys, and then then they let the humans go. They say, go tell your colonel.
They tie him up.
Yeah.
Put them on horses, kick the horses' butts, and they went off.
Leave us alone.
Yeah. It's like I'm trying to show sympathy. So it's like group of monkeys, and they're being attacked by these soldiers. It's all we really know.
Yeah.
Don't know definitely what's going on. And then, so they go back to their fort hideout thing or whatever. And then that's where I was like, they're all doing the thank you thing.
No, it's all that's how they show dominance. Like that's
but it was one of them did it and is like thank you. They subtitled the gesture like way later in the movie. But it's like that's when I was like, oh no, the CG might not be good, and then I was like completely wrong after that point. But yeah, there was like that just led into another scene where it's like, oh, dramatic. He's seeing his
it's like they killed 60 some apes, and then so they let him go. It's like, I'm not a savage, I didn't start this war, just leave us alone. And so they go, but then the traitor ape, the donkey, the gorilla that they had take him away was like, he hit me in the head and escaped. And so then, like, the next day, all of a sudden, the soldiers show back up and fucking kill Caesar's wife and kid.
Well, he sees, and it was like the way... Well, first it was like he gets to see his son that he hadn't seen in a long time.
His older son that was in the previous movie.
Yeah, and then he has a younger
an
kid.
Infant.
And... and his wife, and then the son meets his old flame, Lake, and so it's like very heartwarming after this like emotional battle scene that went place, and then it's like he's waking up, which there's kind of dream moments throughout the movie, and he's like sees something through the waterfall, and he's like, wait a minute, it's a rope, and then he's like, oh fuck, this is where it's like, oh shit's going down.
Exactly.
Which I enjoyed that scene. That's where Caesar and Woody
Harrelson,
talk about a guy from that
is
I know.
But you
which
just
helps
had
me.
Yeah,
Helps
well,
me.
you know Woody from Cheers.
I could think of his Cheers name, which sometimes actors' names in movies is easier to. But yeah, it's a win-win for his.
The Colonel.
He's one of the few names that I can recall easier than all of the other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where they first meet. Super dramatic.
He looked badass with his face all fucking painted.
Yeah, very Michael Bay-ish kind of a scene. Actually,
pans over, he looks down at the bodies, and then Caesar looks down, sees his dead wife and son, and then that's when shit fucking hits the fan.
So now he's on a mission to avenge these deaths. His buddies want to tag along, so the ragtag group forms.
I knew that I felt like that.
Which is, I mean, it would have been a boring movie if it was just
It's like the
Caesar.
start to every leader's revenge story where the leader goes, I'm going to go off on my own.
Yeah.
And then his loyalist friends...
Anywhere from, like Lord of the Rings amount to, just one guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy that's like, I'm with you. I'm your ride or die homie.
Because you need to have, for a story, you need to have... two people. I mean, you could, unless you're doing Castaway, which is like, okay. I mean, you could do that.
Which was brilliant that they managed to do it with one person.
But they didn't. He had a fucking volleyball. He eventually got another person, kind of. He had something to interact with. That was, at the end, was an emotional scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure people got emotional when he lost Wilson at the end of that. Spoilers. But Wilson was dead the whole time, people. Spoilers again. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah. But but I didn't whatever. It's like it's a common storytelling movie thing where it's like, okay, but
I know it didn't bother me.
Some movies do it better than others.
It didn't bother me.
Some
at all.
movies are just
but
like,
I'm just pointing out that is the trope of almost
Sure.
every revenge story where the leader of a group
I mean,
goes
almost
on a revenge.
any story. I mean, Lord of the Rings is very much. I mean, it's a different purpose.
Yeah.
They're trying to melt a ring, but it's a group of people that are it's a road trip story with a bunch of people. But yeah, and you give a fuck about all of them. They all, like, wherever they go throughout this movie, you're like, know them, maybe not their name, but you fucking, like, you want them to, you don't want to see them go, you know? Some of them do. Which this movie's like, you know, it's just, it's like not too much where they're like killing people off just to kill people off, but then it's like, you know,
all the deaths were very meaningful. A lot of deaths.
Yeah. Well, up until like even at
the very beginning
the end,
deaths were meaningful in the scene where they were releasing them into the river.
It was just like, oh, this is why. Oh, yeah.
And like that was like, oh shit, man. They're just like fucking, hey, our dead monkey fucking friends, apes. Sorry, I'm gonna say, fuck it, monkeys.
Yeah, whatever.
They're goddamn monkeys.
Sure.
They're throwing monkeys in the river, and it's sad as fuck.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, someone's like, "Oh shit, someone's coming!" And then it was his son. And then they're like, "Hey, we found a place.
Yeah,
we got a place, and it's awesome. We can get the fuck out of here, and the humans won't find us."
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to figure out where this place is, because they're like,
I think it might be where they end up.
No, I'm saying like
in relation to where
they are, because they're on the California border. They cross a desert and get to somewhere that's. They go over a mountain. I wasn't even
thinking of like geographically.
They go over a mountain, cross a desert, and then get to that fucking canyonous, like hilly area.
I mean, you wouldn't have to go far.
But I'm saying, is that like Utah? Is that like?
No, you wouldn't even have to go that far. Like you could go in California. You can go from beach, climb a mountain. Like the desert I grew up in is 2 hours away from the beach.
Yeah.
So
but that's on the other side of the mountain, right?
Yeah, you got to go. There's a mountain range between it.
Okay.
Not huge, not like Colorado Rockies, but like fucking the Saharas or
Sierra Nevada,
San Jacinto. I forget what the name of that mountain range is. But yeah, there's mountains there. But and then if you go like if they went up into the mountains of like Big Bear, that would look very similar to like where like Colorado, which is kind of like similar to what it looked like. Yeah. You get snow there too, like so it could have been they went up into Big Bear. Although,
yeah, but
the snowstorm and then no snow.
But they weren't in a mountain. They had to go over a mountain, through a desert.
But you still be
and then got to like a
we still be going
place.
Through. I mean, just leaving the beach.
Oh, we jumped right to the end.
It could easily be. Yeah, but that's whatever. Guess who lives? That's the thing.
Yeah, true.
And it's but like they all die on the battlefield.
Spoilers, Planet of the Nothing.
They don't like it. Just kind of ends.
Yeah.
It's like they all die, and then like I think somebody pissed on one of them, and they just cut.
And then you see a cat walk by, and that's
but
it.
California, they wouldn't have to go far. Like they'd still be in California.
But something
they wouldn't even get close to out of California.
But it was on the border of something. They said go to the border.
It looked a lot like Northern California.
I kind of
which would have been, I mean, like Oregon looks a lot like that, and Washington there's a lot of like lush. I mean, the forest and shit, and that's kind of what it looked like in the previous. I don't know if it was the last one. It's very much like
very like northern.
So and then Northern California, like you don't have to go far south, and it
I'm sure
starts
if we
getting deserty.
rewatch the first ones, it'd be like, oh, they show where it's set at. Like, so
but
we could probably figure it out. But
yeah, I mean that could easily
who knows
be
how far they traveled.
That could easily be like Oregon.
Yeah,
Although I don't know of any deserts in Oregon, so it'd have to, I don't know. But I wasn't even thinking of that geographically.
I was like, I was trying to figure it out the whole time. I'm like, where the fuck are they? If they're all right, they're bordering California.
Because none of that looked like Southern California.
Doesn't look
really
like anything I've seen in Nevada.
The beaches did. I mean, the beaches look more Northern California than Southern California.
Yes,
but But so I would imagine it would be that.
More snowy. I would say northern.
Fucking Big Bear is 2 hours from the beach, and that's like, it's like it's always got snow on it. Well, during the wintertime.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we were at.
But yeah, so he's on his revenge mission.
Yeah, he's going on.
Forms the ragtag group. They're on their way, and they run into like.
Well, the group isn't. It's not just it's like all your.
What's the top guys?
It's your favorite. It's your favorite apes, favorite monkeys.
I guess looking back, probably not a good idea considering when they were leaving. They're like, "You're our leader. You tell us what to do."
It was like
and then he's like,
"It was literally the top
all
4.
the management left.
All the management left.
So wasn't that surprising
that they all got
when you
caught?
see what happened later? But it's
you left
bad decision
you
making.
Left them totally unsupervised.
Like, they're like, fuck everybody. They just walk. They got.
You guys got it right.
Well, wasn't it? No, he died. I was like, well, wasn't his son doing it? But no,
there was
gone.
There was no one really leading that group.
Well, the lake.
Because she had his son.
She was like the next in line.
And it's like, because it was his son's girlfriend.
Yeah, that's sure. I mean, she was the only other main character, really.
I did kind of weirdly, maybe it's just because he learned from humans, but like, do monkeys have a marriage ceremony? Because he kept calling his wife, I guess. But
who knows, man? I mean, I don't know. It's just like a word to describe whatever their situation is. So it's
and I was like reasoning with that.
They went down to
These are all micro thoughts. This isn't something that plagued me through it.
Yeah,
he said wife, and I go,
I didn't even
wait.
I didn't even think about it.
I was like,
yeah, it was his wife.
It was.
Actually, I was kind of happy he said that because I wasn't completely sure. It's like I knew it was his son because I saw the scars.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if it was Lake or the mom
until he gave his
other
other
son
son
like little hair things
to his. A lot of them had like so small, subtle scars that I loved. That
they all
looked
different.
So great.
Like there was clearly different like.
Even the orangutan had like a small scar right here on the like the corner of his flap.
Ear.
Well, it's like his face
it's a different
flap.
guy. Yeah. That guy. But there was another guy where it's just like he got Tysoned.
Yeah.
He had a chunk of his ear missing. Yeah, they all had
that
scars.
was Rocky.
Yeah. And even the flashbacks to Kubo and the Two Strings was he was all
Koba.
He reminds me of the I mean, it's totally gonna sound.
Seeing all the flashbacks of him though reminded me of the second movie.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I was like,
I remember it's like I remember in the second one. I remember when they stumbled upon like a bunch of like soldiers with guns, and they were just like, ooh, they like fucking killing them and shit, just like fucking around, like, oh, look at the monk. Before they knew monkeys were smart.
Like, oh, I
like
got
this
a gun.
movie, they all knew monkeys were a threat. In the second movie, there's still people that were like, oh, it's just a monkey, and it's like, oh fuck, I got shot by the fucking monkey. But yeah, that was it's weird. Like that movie, I just saw like, I just see him on like a whim. It's just like, oh, I guess I'll go see that. And they've all been great. So it's like this one was the only one I was like, I gotta see it when it comes out. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so they got
what James Franco started. Jesus.
Sure. Yeah.
He was Caesar's.
It's the very first
BFF.
one. He's the doctor, right?
Yeah, he was
the scientist.
He was the scientist, and Caesar was his favorite chimp. And then all this shit went down. Caesar got smart.
Wasn't he revenging his death in that one, in the first one, or
No.
did they kidnap him and he was? I can't remember.
No,
I just remember it was good.
they pretty much fired him, and then was like,
I thought he dies.
See, this is why we should have watched these other movies, but we didn't need to.
I wasn't thinking of James Franco. I'm assuming he's dead now.
No, he's still alive.
In the universe?
No, James Franco.
Oh, well, I don't know. I haven't looked at Twitter.
James, are you out there?
Yeah.
Get a hold of us if you are.
Sure. Yeah. It's I think this, like, quality-wise, like, I remember the first one being really good.
This
and
is
like
my
amazing.
favorite. This is my favorite.
I think it's like the most well done too. Yeah.
Well, you get
like
how technology works.
But I mean, just the way they used it.
2011.
Like, there's a lot of
6 years later.
Yeah. you don't get the like super.
It gets better.
Yeah, but like they did it well. It's not like all movies are like this amazing. Like, this is the only one that's this amazing. This is the Matrix of fucking CG faces. Every other movie that's ever done a CG face can suck my dick. Even when they just try and make people look younger, which has gotten better, none of it was A, done as good, and B, handled as good. Because this one was like it's super
I feel like
close
the
up.
best younger face, Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War.
I thought in Guardians 2, what's his face?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I thought that was done well.
That wasn't younger face.
It was. I think that it was like a blending of a few different things.
Like,
they had
not
like an
in the
actor
way
that looked
that-
like him,
yeah.
and then like they did, but it was still CG
Like,
face.
because I still didn't like the Carrie Fisher younger face
Um,
in Rogue One.
They all suck. None of them do it like at this, like that close up. None of them are going deep into the fucking face where you see every pore.
I was looking so much like at the nose.
And it's like super shallow depth of field to where it's like they handled it well. It's like, oh, like most people just do like Star Wars and all that shit, but they're still filmed in a very kind of everything's in focus kind of way.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get shallow depth of field in a fucking Star Wars movie. Like,
This
they're
felt
not
like-
going to allow that.
put the camera right here on my face, and that's
Yeah.
what most of the
Yeah.
shots
Yeah.
were.
Even though the camera's far away to get that kind of look.
Just
but yeah,
bam.
It's focused. It's got like an inch worth shit's in focus.
Yeah.
And like everything's playing around in that area throughout this whole movie. But yeah, so it's all the other movies that try and do this fucked them all in the ass. They put them over, just ape fucked them.
So Revenge Journey.
Yeah. So they end up. I mean, they first they run into humans.
No, they say, hey. The one gorilla is like, hey, our guards think that this is where the humans are at because there's
Sure.
a fire always burning.
Yeah.
So they go up and check it out.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what's up? See a dude carrying firewood?
Yeah.
And he's all like, I'm just going to put this down. Tries to shoot him.
Yeah.
Fucking gets killed. Then they find a little girl. And this little girl can't talk.
Yeah. Which I just thought she was mute.
So did I.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
There, it fits with the story. The fact that there's sign language going on. A lot of the apes can't talk anyway. And then there was an ape that could talk but couldn't do sign language.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. But yeah, so they run into this girl, and the fucking orangutan forms a bond with her. Can't leave her behind. Got to take her. So she's part of the ragtag group, which is fine. Another element to the thing.
It shows compassion in the apes.
Absolutely.
And it
which
kind
they were.
and it kind of shows how more savage the humans are at this point.
Well, and they can use her as a human shield if they need. Get another one later.
Yeah, well,
She's
light.
light.
I'll find one.
It's the lightest shield. We were gonna take that dead dude, but it's way too heavy. But yeah, and then they go, and then they run into the other member. There's like it's now snowy, and
well, like, they got up into the mountains.
Yeah, and now there's like this. I don't know how they stumbled upon his house.
No, he like tried
to
steal out of their horses.
They were up
on a
do
tower.
recon shit. Yeah.
And the girl's sitting there, and he's just trying to.
Which
he thinks
the way
they're
that
humans.
scene's done, it's like human.
Very human.
Yeah,
it was a very bait and switch, but I loved it.
Yeah, it worked. It's like, oh well,
it was clearly a human in the beginning, and then it was like
they were all humans.
Yeah,
they've always this twist of this whole movie. They all take off their
it's us.
Like, haha, we had the good mask. Fuck you, Tim Burton. Ours looked the shit. Yeah.
But then they go on a chase. It's like he steals one of their horses.
I was waiting for that gorilla dude to. I thought he was gonna jump down and like
too.
clobber.
I did
like
too.
just tackle clobber. Didn't happen.
No,
which is fine because we wouldn't have got that. That would have been a dead character. And it's like, then what do you do with the story? It's like, oh, we gotta go find the horses
now. I will say,
one nitpick in my mind that I had in the middle of it. Look up what an adult orangutan weighs or an adult gorilla, and then throw them on a fucking horseback.
Yeah. Well, those were
that bitch
giant horses too.
They weren't Clydesdales. They weren't Clydesdales. They were horses.
They weren't regular horses. They were huge horses. Like the one time the fucking what was it? Somebody stole one of their horses and rode off with it.
Bad guy or bad ape.
Right. I was thinking it was a human, but we just didn't know it was a human yet. Looked tiny, like, well, I guess, but it looked human sized.
It's supposed to be a chimp on a horse.
But it looked human sized. But they were giant horses. Like the hooves on these horses were giant. They weren't normal horses.
I really don't have a problem. But in my mind, again, when it happened, I go, oh fuck that. I go
if they were normal horses, I would have totally been like,
in my head, those poor horses.
Yeah.
Like that one's got a gorilla on it. I don't give a fuck. That thing's like 600 pounds.
I think it was.
If you threw a 600-pound person on there, how fat that would look.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, oh, that poor
there was a fucking what was that Bam Margera show?
Yeah.
I think they all went horse riding, and his uncle.
Poor Don Vito on a fucking horse.
And I think it was a tiny.
But
I don't think it was a full size horse.
He probably only weighed like 300 pounds.
I know, but it was like a donkey. It was not a donkey. It was like a pony. It was a small horse.
But I'm saying
didn't like it.
I think an adult gorilla weighs a lot.
Yeah. Well, the fucking
and the orangutan probably more.
Yeah, but they always looked funny on horses anyway. Every time they were on horses,
that didn't bother me.
The whole franchise. Every time they're on horse, it just looks weird. It's like
it should, because how many times have you seen a full-size ape ride a fucking horse?
Yeah, I mean I haven't been to Russia, so I'm sure it happens all the time there.
I mean, if there was a whole movie about the next Planet of the Apes, they're all driving cars, you'd be like, that looks weird. I'm like, yeah, because I haven't seen a monkey drive a car.
No, but it's just not weird like that. It would it doesn't look like that thing is riding that thing. Like it looks off.
I didn't think that.
But yeah, there just wasn't a whole lot of. It was just certain scenes where it looks like that.
I feel like this face paint was from the second movie, maybe?
Probably. I mean, it's
like
most likely fan art because they got it wrong.
Yeah, I feel like this is Caesar from the second movie.
If a major studio put out promotional material with the wrong
name?
fucking name on it, that's. But if it's fan art, excited for the thing, and they just type shit in wrong.
Well, here's a weird one. I remember watching the Crow movie a lot on VHS, and like my buddy had bought it from like the rental store, when they have old movies, they sell them.
Back in the Dizzy.
Back in the
90s.
Yes. And he one of the previews on it was for one of the Highlander movies.
Yeah.
And the preview had a totally different name for the movie than when the movie came out.
Well, fucking Edge of Tomorrow was changed when it went to DVD, and I think UK also had the same name.
To Live, Die, Kill.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Or Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah. So it's like that's...
But it still said Edge of Tomorrow. They just put Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah, but it's like titled differently. Like you can't look it up from Edge of Tomorrow. Like it was just renamed. It was basically the overseas title, and they for whatever reason, it probably didn't do well in theaters. So it's like, well, let's rebrand it and put it out in, video.
I've seen that a lot on like different clips on the internet, like that they kind of like had a fucking snap. That movie's great too. That's one of those one that's
great movie.
Like,
fuck yeah,
it
did horrible in theaters.
The only reason it's a cult classic is because it was so good.
Yeah,
it was such a blockbuster. It
was well done.
It never made the money back, but they're also making. Aren't they making a sequel?
Yeah, I'm sure it did okay. I mean, like maybe not in theaters, but after theaters.
Yeah, do people buy DVDs anymore, or just
people
iTunes
buy
buys?
iTunes? Yeah, and whatever they. I mean, if it did well on like Netflix numbers, like if they just knew the numbers did real well.
Has it ever been on Netflix?
It was on something for a while. Yeah,
it was maybe Prime or HBO.
I don't know where. I don't remember,
know.
but it was a while ago when it was on there. But I'm almost positive it was on Netflix because I didn't have all this other shit till recently. It doesn't matter though. But yeah, they do change titles. But of versus for, I think it's more somebody fucked up. But
there's only one letter off.
Yeah, well, the order.
Ordered. I didn't say anything about the order. I said one letter.
Yeah. Yeah. So they get their ragtag group. And so this person,
I got the girl now.
The person ends up being not a person. They follow him to his house, and they like see that he ran into snows everywhere. So they see the footsteps into the fireplace.
Sorry to stop it again. That was one thing that I did kind of go, huh? When they lost the convoy in the snow.
What do you mean lost the convoy in the snow?
They were following the convoy of like army dudes,
right?
And then just couldn't find him anymore.
Yeah.
The fuck? They just drove heavy machinery through here. There's got to be tire tracks. Only nitpick.
I didn't even think about that.
I thought I was like, is there snow? There's snow, and that and it also led them to Bad Ape.
But maybe they wanted to cut him off. And not just be right behind him the whole way. It's like, hey, did you notice there's a couple apes following us?
Well,
we need to turn some evasive maneuvers here.
They were following.
Get my track on.
They were following too close on the beach too.
Yeah.
When they first started, I go, wouldn't someone just kind of look in the rearview mirror for a second and be like, hey, I'm pretty sure there's 4 apes riding horses right behind it. Like, you can literally see them. They're only.
I mean, who knows how time-wise when they left to how far ahead, I don't know.
No, you could see them like distance-wise. Like they're driving here, they're here.
I don't know. It's
There's nothing in between.
We didn't see them the whole way, so who knows? What if maybe the apes have to pee a lot?
I love this movie. I'm just pointing out.
I don't know. Like that's a weird nitpick. It's like you're inventing nitpicks.
No, like I
like logically. How could the
he would have just
watch fucking Escape
why would
from
you have
LA?
Not seen that guy?
Yeah. It's whatever. So they track this we think is a person to this house into a fireplace. They give up. They throw the shit that they stole and come out hands up. And then once the head comes up, new character, new ape.
We got a new ape, and it's a bad ape.
And it's an ape that knows how to speak.
Yes.
Does not know sign language, and
he learned it from the zoo.
One of the best.
He was a zoo creature.
Yeah, he was.
Wait, where was the zoo? It said
Sahara
the name
or something. I don't know.
Why I'm just talking to go back, harken back to the geographical nature of it.
It wasn't in the United States. Or it's a zoo named after a place that's not like fucking, some zoo in some city where it's like, welcome to the Sahara. Or it could be a fucking zoo at the Sahara in Las Vegas.
Oh, shit.
You're going to get a lot of people there. And they do have live animals. I know there's like lions and tigers and shit in the hotels. I think MGM. When you walk in, the whole fucking, it's like the whole wall is a giant aquarium just for some lions and tigers and shit. Vegas, man.
Vegas, baby.
But yeah, so they meet this new character. instantly becomes my favorite character
Comic relief
in a lot of
movie.
ways. Yeah,
Perfect.
Steve Zahn. Yeah, which I heard somebody comment on him like giving a Academy Award performance, and but it was a comic, and said potentially in a sarcastic tone. So
it was great.
I was like, but the way they said it was like, was that real? It's like, so I was like, I don't know.
Telling me that.
So I was like listening. I was like, is this him? Is this him? And then it's like, oh no, it's him. And it's like, oh, they were being funny because they're a comic, but they said it in a way where it's like legit, in a way, sincere. But it was great. It was amazing. I still think it was a great performance. He was like the John C. Reilly of Kong.
Yes.
It was like comic relief.
You needed
fucking great.
Yeah, it was like, oh, geez.
He was, I mean, that's different movies. For that popcorn kind of monster movie, he was a lot more bubbly, cartoony throughout, where this was like
also reminded me of our neighbor through the alley.
Yeah.
Who his voice sounded a lot like it, and some of his monkey facial expressions actually looked like him. It was weird. I was like,
just to be clear, the dude you're referencing is not black.
Neither was the monkey.
No, I know, but I'm just saying for any of the fucking people that want to be like, just the way you were describing him compared to looking like a monkey.
I wasn't even like,
I don't know.
He doesn't look like. It just had slight facial.
I haven't been away
tendencies.
from Costco long enough to get all the fucking racist, like, just guessing what racist people would think of shit.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but
I don't know.
Yeah, it just reminded me of him a lot. And even when I told you, you were like, "Yeah, I kind of see that."
I've never really had conversations with him, but I just take your word for it.
Yeah, I have.
But he does look like a, I guess. But yeah, so he's part of the group. This new ape.
Well, then they're like, "Hey, we're looking for the fucking people. What's up?" And they're like, he gives them like a meal, and like he scavenged it from a prison or something.
Yeah.
And it turns out they're like, it says it's on the border.
Right. The border
of California
or Oregon.
It said California on it.
Oh. Yeah. It's
So then
they get a location.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh shit," because they were looking for the border, and they're like, "What the fuck? Border of what?"
Yeah.
And so then they get the clue, and he's like, "Have
you
been here?" And he's like, "Yeah, but there's bad people there."
Like the chances of finding something that's on the border of California,
a lot of border.
Yeah, it's
even though it's only one border, it's a long border.
Get most of the left half of the map is basically California.
It's a very big
Washington
border.
And Oregon are very tiny portions of that border. But so it's I'm assuming they're just going north.
Maybe
because that's what it looks like. I mean, if the border is like
they could be NorCal and then trying to go Oregon or Washington.
Yeah.
So it's Washington
because I don't know if they're necessarily going inland because it always seems very rainy.
Beach.
Because even in the like I mean, I guess there was snow, so it's whatever if you're in mountains, but still precipitation. There's not a lot. I mean, I guess Idaho has all that once you're up in anyway. Now you got me thinking of the fucking geography of this movie when I wasn't even paying attention to any of that. So I'm speculating on nothing.
Very invested in.
I'm speculating third hand.
I was looking at the meal. I'm like, it says California. I'm like, where? Then where would they be crossing?
And yet, fucking was Escape from L.A. is the most
I've never been to L.A. So
yeah, but it's
I just assumed that he could get there that fast.
Sure, it's
Just having a casual stroll across L.A.
Yeah, he didn't even have a horse.
No, he's just walking.
L.A. It's ridiculous.
A lot of foot traffic in L.A. I heard.
Yeah, a lot of walking. People walk all over the place in L.A. Super walking town. You wouldn't think that because it's hot and there's always talk of horrible traffic.
I don't know where that comes
laid
from.
out. It's weird. Yeah. But so they get a location, they go, and it's kind of like the final location of the movie. This fort kind of, which you find out's a slave camp where they've captured a bunch of apes, which are from his.
They captured all the rest
all his
of them.
Peeps.
That he was like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys go to the awesome time. We're going to go fucking kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And here it turns out that he was like on the other side, and he was like,
all
hey,
the
look at all
leaders
these
left.
apes.
Yeah, all the leaders left.
Easy pickings.
Yeah.
Why don't we take them and make them slave labor to build a wall?
Build the shittiest fucking wall ever.
To trump it up so hard, like, build me a wall, apes.
Yeah.
And I won't feed or give you any water.
Yeah.
And
well, it's like a slave labor camp, and it's just like fuck, and he's he gets caught, right? How did that happen?
He purposely got caught,
right?
Like because they got ambushed because like they were checking it out.
That's right.
Dude jumps out of nowhere with a bayonet, like because that's still a fucking thing, and kills the gorilla that was with him.
Dude, if you're fighting back like the society is gone and you're still alive,
true, you're throwing
I'm
whatever
throwing
on
a knife
your gun.
on the front of my gun, man.
Fuck it.
Like,
I'm gonna run out of ammo.
I remember
probably.
World War II.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna
I'll do
probably
this shit.
run out of ammo, and why not have a bayonet?
Exactly.
But gorilla gets killed. It's super fucking sad.
Yeah, there was a
Like
super
the little
emotional
girl,
moment.
like there
with
was
the girl.
just a semi-emotional moment where him and the girl
He shows
had,
heart. He's
and
like, oh, this big gorilla's got such a huge heart.
pulls
And then
a
he's
flower
gonna get
out of
popped.
a blooming tree, puts it behind her ear.
Yeah.
And then he is dying, and then she pulls the flower out and then puts it behind his ear. I kind of teared up on that one a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's like they set it up to knock it down.
Yeah,
like if
they
they
did.
didn't have that scene,
If they didn't have
It
that
would've-
scene,
it would've been a
would have
bummer.
been like,
It would've
why
been a
is
bummer.
she so emotionally invested
for sure,
in this
but-
fucking gorilla?
just the fact that I mean, it's like it would have been a bummer if he died, but it wouldn't have been like it's like I wanted to see more of him.
Yeah.
Like he just like we just got to see
and
a little taste.
and what he signed, he was like, at least I was there to protect you this time. Like,
Yeah.
harkening
Well, that's
back
why they
to the
went.
last movie.
Yeah. So so super, like, they're in it now, and it's a guy from the beginning of the movie that he spared the life of. That's the guy that ends up being a major part in the end of the film.
Crossbow guy.
Yeah, crossbow guy, who's an
Crossbow
amazing
guy
shot.
kind of bothered me
In
in the fact that like
could be the
he
fact that
showed
he's an
you
asshole.
fucking-
I know.
ugh.
Yeah. Well, that's fucking military, man. Military
Fuck that
sides.
guy.
Military. They kill like fucking civilians, like modern day military.
Fuck you, crossbow guy.
But yeah, so it's like a lot of things coming back when he gets caught. It's like, oh shit. He sees the fucking his nemesi again, Woody. And that's where he finds out that he killed his family, right? Is that where he finds out?
No, he
Found out.
knew that he. Woody
apologizes.
Woody finds out.
Yeah. Well, Woody was trying to kill him
Yes.
and killed a bunch of
And
people.
thought he-
didn't know he killed his. Like he just wanted to know. He's like he knew he did something.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck did I do to
He's
make
like-
you so
he's like,
angry?
who did I
Yeah,
kill?
and he's like my
It's like,
wife
you
and
killed
my kid.
wife and
yeah.
my son.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, okay.
And he's
He
like,
didn't really give a shit. He just wanted to know.
yeah, he's like,
Why
oh,
are you
so,
trying to avenge?
so emotional?
Whose deaths are you
why,
trying to avenge?
Why are you so
Yeah.
emotional?
I love
It's
that
like-
scene.
I
love
did
that.
too.
Like, it's crazy that like
But
so
it makes
much of this
it makes
is
you
just
think that
CG.
he's crazy,
Yeah.
and he even acknowledges he's like, you think I'm crazy, don't you?
I mean, I
And I was like in the audience going, yes, I think you're crazy.
yeah.
You are a crazy asshole.
I never thought he was not crazy.
And then
but
you're telling us
yeah.
how you murdered your own son because he stopped talking.
That's when the fucking.
He stopped talking.
By the
and
way,
you're like,
that scene is when the fucking. It's had to have been a kid. I was gonna perform a late term of fucking abortion on this goddamn piece of shit. Was rocking my fucking chair
yeah.
during that whole scene because it's like very quiet, very dramatic, and my fucking seat's going like this, and it's like I'm trying to just get through it because like it'll get actiony. I won't even notice this fucker, and I'm trying to like rock back, you know,
Yeah.
like hey,
Ugh,
like
stop
I
it.
can feel you, you can feel me
Yeah.
on your feet. That's my back, asshole. That's my back. So I'm trying to do that through this scene and pay attention to this fucking scene. That's amazing. And then I was gonna fucking turn around. I'm gonna stare at whoever the fuck is there.
It's like a 13-year-old kid.
I stared. There was an adult, not like right behind, like to my right, and I fucking stared at him, and I fucking turned back, and then there's nothing. I didn't hear anything. I was like waiting for somebody to get scolded or like stop. They started to do it again later, and I heard like, but it's like, I'm not dealing with this right now. It's like, if we're gonna have scenes like this, I'm not gonna be fucking being rocked to sleep by some fucking asshole behind me.
I think as invested as I was in that movie, I would have just stood up and been like,
all of those things were like, well, let me just start with just like staring somebody in the face. It's like if anybody turned around and stared at me in my face, I know something's up.
Oh shit, sorry.
Yeah, this is the most. I don't want to fuck everybody else's shit up. It's not like they're being loud. Say, you know, it's like nobody else knows I'm getting fucked with.
Everyone was being quiet.
Yeah. There wasn't any.
There was no disruptions, which I was worried about because I had like a 16-year-old couple in front of me.
Yeah,
and
they were talking through all the. Well, it wasn't even the trailers started, but
they were still talking through the trailers.
Oh yeah, that's right. People behind me were too.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, like, and
a couple times during the movie too, like towards the end. Like I think it was explaining what just happened to his retard kid.
Stop it! I hate.
But it's like,
what happened?
It was I mean, short.
Are you not paying attention? If you weren't paying attention,
the worst. Passion of the fucking bullshit Christ, right? Bullshit like smut film that religious people love. I love seeing torture porn when it comes to the religious figure that died for my sins. My sins. Torture porn. Fucking 3 rows ahead. Must have been like, I don't know what language. Primarily empty theater.
Yeah.
Fucking the whole movie, translating everything into whatever language they spoke. And it was like the worst movie to begin with, and then I have like fucking like alternate commentary.
I don't care. I'd have lost it. I would have.
But I was like, this movie is dog shit anyway.
True.
It was a horrible experience all around. It was like, oh well.
I watched it without anyone interrupting me, and I was like,
it's like, wow, the audience makes me hate this movie just as much as the movie does, and I'm sure they love it. They probably loved it.
Just reminded me of
that movie did so well.
Walking the Stations of the Cross, which is the thing that Catholics do, which is kind of reenacts. That's the story. It's the Station of the Cross. So there's 12.
Which, if you don't know the story of that, it's like you want to talk about a movie that's horrible at telling a story. Is that movie? Because
they just assume you know the Bible inside now.
It's the Batman versus Superman of bullshit movies.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
let's
it's amazing.
Stop talking about bad movies. Start talking about good movies.
But that was
that movie.
That was one of the worst experiences
Fuck that movie.
of people.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I was talking about people that fucking ruin a movie, and it's a dramatic.
And then we started talking about the movie.
It's a dramatic scene with Woody Harrelson and fucking Caesar and the donkey and the fucking other guy. And
I don't even know where we're at, but
that's where we were.
Great.
It was. But it's like, okay, they're in the same area. Caesar's caught. The other guys of his ragtag group are on the outside, and they all start communicating. They all start using their sign language.
They force them into slave labor. To build the stupid
wall.
That's
what they're there. They're making a wall, slave labor, and it's the typical like
no food, no water.
And it's like their leader is back, and he says no, and they all listen. But then there's
first off, they all
battle of heads.
Turned their back on him because like, hey, you abandoned us, and then we all got captured, and then have been being slaves for a while.
There was a lot of politicking going on within the ape community that day, and but they resolved their issues. They started working together, teaming up. Fucking people on the outside, because he was separated from his kid. That scene when he gets brought in,
ragtag group
when he got brought in, and his kid's like screaming at him.
Father, and they keep signing father.
And just like the way they did the voice of the screeching of the ape, and that's for whatever it sounds like to scream father emotionally.
Well, they only subtitled it when he signed father.
Yeah.
He was just monkey screeching.
But you could still hear the
the pain. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Their grunts could still have certain meaning to it. Because it was like a
felt
very
like he was
shaky
just like,
baby.
Dad,
Yeah.
Dad.
Which is just like, there's like so much of this fucking movie just tears your goddamn heart out. But yeah, so, it becomes like, and even the score of the thing, when they start doing their shit, it's like, it's like, we're working on a shit, you don't know what's going on, other thing is going on. And it's just like everything kind of, all of the later events kind of just pile up. Like they finally like fucking bad ape pokes his head through.
Oh, I loved that scene.
So great. Oh, it's just like every scene with that. Like that could be, if they want to do some cheap spin-off shit, like have him as like some like kids character thing or whatever.
Show him escaping from the zoo with his other zoo
prequel
friends.
Kind of a spin-off, Rogue One kind of a thing.
Yeah,
I'm down.
And then how he loses all his friends, and then he survives, and then gets up into the mountains. I'm down with that.
Yeah,
Steve Zahn.
Let's
do it.
Let's give him a franchise.
Fuck it.
Damn, the best.
We could do 2 of them.
Fucking.
We don't need 3, but we could do 2.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be a whole.
Zoo.
It could just be.
It could be Zoo
just
Life.
Just one. Yeah, to be like the serious Madagascar.
Yeah,
But I'd love to see it. Like I could see him being just like a kid's character, like animated character. This is the crazy thing. Not to jump out of the movie again and talk about when we left this screening. I didn't realize how many kids were in that theater.
There's a lot of kids.
So many kids. I was like, you see what? Like.
Would you even have enjoyed it as a kid? How prolific are you in reading?
I would have loved Bad Ape.
Yeah, but how prolific are you in reading?
True, but so much of it was you didn't like. You could have just looked at their faces, and I mean, a lot of it was just this movie. Probably like all the movies that try to like do so much to ruin their film to make it sell better overseas. This one, because it's just very little dialogue, probably just translates instantly.
So easy.
Overseas, this movie is probably going to destroy. And it's a fucking amazing movie.
You got an extra subtitle 5 minutes of the movie.
They didn't like add Asian monkeys or something like that just to like sell better in China.
But I also thought of that too. I'm like, what's up with apes in Asia? I wonder what's going on over there if it spread like that far.
Like in this universe?
Yeah.
It is weird. I mean, I never really from what I thought going into it, not really, but where I assumed maybe the situation with humanity is at.
Well, in the prelogue, they kind of said that.
Yeah.
This wiped out like everyone all over the world.
Yeah,
we got planes and shit. People fucking catch shit, fly somewhere.
But it seems like there's apes they don't even know about. Like
that's what I'm saying. Once they met Bad Ape and they didn't know, and he wasn't from their tribe, but he got smart anyway.
Yeah.
Which makes I'm like, oh shit! I wonder what's going on like in Africa, in fucking
if I did
Asia.
have a gripe, it's the very, very end. Not very, very end, but the end where they're like, it's the wide shots of them like mountaintops, the whole group of them. No, just, walking. And how many there were.
Still.
Like, just in general, when you saw the slave camp, there weren't that many. I mean, it was a decent-sized camp, but it wasn't. But what might explain that, now that we kind of talked about it, maybe they ran into other ape groups on their trip and it was a longer trip, and they did end up in like, I mean, it didn't look like Utah, but it could have been like or Colorado or something like if they did, and it's just like from wherever they left off in the movie, and it's just like montage to where they end up at the very, very end. Like, who knows how far they traveled?
Who knows?
So maybe they did run into a shitload of apes on their way.
I mean, they literally
how many apes are in the wild?
Well, now most of the humans
US?
are done.
In the U.S.?
But
where's the habitat?
All right. People keep monkeys and like chimps and shit.
Sure.
Like those chimps, like
not that many. I mean, there's probably a bunch, but a bunch, not like fucking like a huge pot. Like
Texas
that was
has
like
more lions than in the wild.
Yeah, I'm talking about fucking apes.
I'm sure that there's more.
Apes.
I'm sure that there's more chimps
No.
Kept as pets
Apes?
and lions.
Apes? You want to talk about like a human
Chimpanzee's
thing?
an ape.
Sure, but like, I don't know, man. Maybe. But like, what's the habitat? What are you going to do? Just like, oh, go outside, fucker. Just go in the dirt.
Well,
like, don't they have
that's why
like
he was fucking
trees
scavenging shit.
But that was like, that would be something that would explain that scene where it's like, oh, there's a shitload of them now. It's like, I don't feel that bad. Percentage wise, they lost a small percentage in the final battle.
Yeah.
Or they lost a shitload of people and just have met.
It's been speculated that the human race went
shit.
down to like 2,000 people at one point.
Sure, but I'm talking about in this universe, I would imagine it makes more sense that they met more people because the amount of apes that they showed at the end
I didn't
were
even notice
far more than like.
I felt like there was like 20 by the end, and like
I mean, when they showed the pen, when he looked in, like it wasn't like thousands, it was hundreds.
Yeah,
it was kind of. I mean, it was like a lot smaller
maybe
number.
100.
Yeah, it was a way smaller number. But that would explain it. If they met, since there are other monkeys or apes, both, whatever. I'm sure they don't discriminate.
I want a spider monkey to be all smart and shit.
Nah, it'd be like a meth head.
Yeah,
yeah. No, that's we got
we got Steve Zahn.
We got Steve
You're
Zahn.
like, yeah, it's cool. We got Steve Zahn.
Yeah. Jim Carrey was that kind of a thing for a while. It was very much a spider monkey intentions.
You know, I almost don't want to ruin the end of it.
No, I don't want. Yeah, we don't have to do that. But yeah, there's the end of the movie is in this compound, and it's like so much of the movie is very much like take a step forward,
you win,
take
I
two steps
win,
back.
you win, I win,
and it's
I
like
win.
Yeah, and then nope.
And then no, I don't win.
No, you didn't win.
But then
I did win.
Yes, I did win.
It's kind of I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the end of the movie, like the end, like where it was just
loved
like
everything.
Yeah.
I really didn't have a problem with.
No. I got more emotional at the end of this movie than I did Logan.
I got about equally, but I was definitely got more emotional more times in this movie than I did Logan.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just one time I got emotional.
This movie encapsulates all the emotions. It's got suspense, action, humor, drama. It's got everything, all of it, and it's
tragedy.
It's great, and I don't know. I imagine they're gonna keep doing them. Maybe somebody else will take over. I always thought it was a trilogy, but like with how movies go today and how well it was, I hope it's more like Batman.
The next one
trilogy
should be like 20 years in the future of like how much progress they've made.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like they could still go. Like it could be the end of human civilization in the next one.
Well, they pretty much said that everyone else.
Sure, but there's still armies with uniforms. So there's still some kind of organization.
Yeah, but I'm saying they all died.
But is that everybody? I mean, if that was the only army,
Harrelson said it.
If that was the only army left,
everyone else.
Why the fuck are they in pristine uniforms?
That's what I'm saying. That's weird.
No, that's what I just said. That's why I think there's still people left, but it's just like military groups and few rich people in bunkers.
What's going on in Asia?
Sure.
Like there's other play. They ran into a random dude and found a little girl that wasn't with either group.
I mean, that's what it could be, like a Mad Max post-apocalyptic kind of movie where there's still humans around, but there's still not civilization like, oh, now there's monkey cities.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that next.
I'd like to see Monkey Tree City.
I don't it'd just be stupid. It would just be stupid. It'd be so stupid.
Right,
tonally, it'd be stupid. It's like, oh, they're successful. It's great. It's just like the Lego movie remade with apes. Everything is awesome. Will Ferrell's still in it. That'd be great. I'd like to see post-apocalyptic ape movie. Like a Mad Max Apes. I don't know. I want it to be done. Done.
Yes. You can stop.
Reboot it with somebody else.
10 years later.
Yeah, like with Batman. Christopher Nolan, done. That chunk, done. I'm done. Good. Don't.
For me, The third one, best of the three.
Yeah, I really loved it. But it's like, as a whole, it's really great too.
Yeah, like I didn't have problems. Like I said a bunch of things that I was
I mean, like
I thought
franchise-wise.
Oh yeah,
like from the first movie to the last movie, last one the best, but they're all fucking great.
This for me,
the first might be the weakest
trilogy-wise.
Yeah,
might go like for me.
A lot of people
it'd be
are saying
like Star Wars,
yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Planet of the Apes.
I'd easily go Planet of the Apes over Lord of the Rings. No hate on Lord of the Rings. Great There's a lot of great franchises.
That's just different.
You love that franchise.
Yeah, I do.
Franchise. Man. I almost have to go Toy Story up there somewhere.
But I'm saying like top three. Yeah. I wouldn't put Toy Story.
Star Wars. Because here's the thing. Here's the reality of a lot of the franchises that we love. Right. Even Star Wars. The first one's pretty weak. The first one's way better, especially with Rogue One. Story wise, kind of leads up into it. Fucking makes it great. Pretty basic movie. Whereas 2, like there's dramatic. It's very much a lot of shit. Fucking Back to the Future 2, very much. Versus this, like they're all consistently amazing, kind of thing. So I take that into consideration. You know,
now that you mentioned Back to the Future.
Back to the Future's great, but it's like as far as like top level consistency, it's hard to know. I don't know a franchise that's this great.
Maybe fourth for me then. I think it was Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, Planet of the Apes.
Which
but to be
great.
in the fucking top
5,
to be mentioned with those movies, you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. And I
watch
think
this shit, people.
I think if we didn't grow up with a lot of those franchises, we watched all of them fresh.
It would have been totally different.
Because as far as franchises or trilogies
Back
go,
to the
like
Future,
even like consider a modern day trilogy, like they're doing all of them now, like Batman. This is better than the Batman because there's aspects of the Batman. No, but like the second Batman's the best. Third one's kind of weak. First one's pretty good. All of these are like high level. So it's like the consistency of this franchise is almost at the top. Whether it's your favorite or not, different question. But it's like, I don't know of a franchise that's that consistently good. And I think it's more because it's under the radar. It's not like a Disney production where it's got to be this like, we have to have this look because there's going to be 20 of them. And it's like if it's a smaller thing, you could kind of do more stylized shit. But yeah, good. I loved it.